So juice in a box is sugar in a box. It's just liquid sugar. Right. What happens is whether it's organic and non-organic, doesn't not matter. We take the fruit, we squeeze the juice out of it, and I always tell people, I'm like, one box of, oftentimes they'll put on the box of juice, they're like, took only 3 apples. First of all, the serving size for a 2-year-old is not 3 apples. So a 2-year-old's not going to sit.
Without the fiber.
Correct. But it's not, there's no way you get 3 apples in that, because if for anyone that has actually juiced at home an apple, you need like 6 apples to get the amount of juice in there. So number one, that's 6 apples. We've taken only the sugar from the apple. We've removed the fiber. Then it has to be pasteurized, which means it gets boiled in order to be put in these containers at boiling temperatures into these containers, which most likely contain BPA. Now we're releasing the BPA in the plastics by putting boiling hot lava into juice boxes. Right. So my take on juices is no. Can you have it when you go to a party once? Sure. But what's in your lunchbox, which used to be my kid's lunchbox, when it's in your lunchbox every day, that's not a treat, that's your diet. And now we're giving them addograms. And by the way, the food industry gets away with not putting addograms of sugar on juice boxes. So parents are like, oh, it's not added sugar. I'm like, it's all sugar.
So what's the alternative?
Water.
There you go. And speaking of lunch boxes, these are not lunch boxes. These are...
Guys, my kids used to eat these because you know what? They're easy. And they were like, you go to a Walmart and it was like $1. So, yep, I had these in my kids' lunch boxes. And then
I'm giving my kids eczema in a box.
Basically. You're welcome, children. So what I started doing when I started reading labels, so I would have patients come into my clinic and the parents would roll their eyes because now you're annoying us. Now it's exhausting. What am I going to feed my kid for lunch because you're taking away my Lunchables? So they wouldn't listen to me. So I would go to the 6-year-old and I would say, listen, I know you have Lunchables. We're going to do a little test. When you go home, I want you to take a highlighter and I want you to highlight all the words you can read. By 6, you can read cheese and meat and ham. So you can milk, right? If you can, 50% is highlighted, we will call it food. If it's less than 50%, we will call it a chemical experiment and you are never going to eat it again.
I like that.
And the kids would come in and the parents were like, you're so annoying. They're rebelling. They refuse to eat this. And I was like, success. Because these are chemical experiments that are put in a box. And I'll tell you, it is not that hard to get nitrite-free ham from the deli and to just shred it and put it in there. Grab some organic cheese that you chuck it in the lunchbox. You can get a bento box metal from Amazon for $15. And then you throw a couple crackers and you throw some pepper slices, maybe some olives. Boom, you have a Lunchable. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah. And imagine if the kid really feels like they're not fitting in, you can just buy a Lunchable and refill it with stuff that you make.
Totally have done that. Have done that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the kids is very... by empowering the kids of why they're doing it, I'm going to be healthy. I'm like, don't you want to be faster than James on the playground? Right. And then they're like, yes. I'm like, exactly. You know what James is eating? Lunchable, garbage. You're going to eat this and you're going to be faster. And the kids get the buy-in of why they're doing it. They're more likely to do it even when the kids make fun of them at school.
I was beaten up in the schoolyard, not really, but mentally at least, for eating soy pro sandwiches on like Ezekiel bread. Like you could take the, my mom was
with the grains.
You could throw it in the soil and it would grow. And I don't know, sprouts. Anyways, it was embarrassing. So you kind of have to, get a kid to.
My kids got made fun of.
Yeah.
My kids got made fun of, but I'll tell you, they would come home and we would talk about it and we're kind of how you discuss it. And I'm happy to tell you, right, at 24, 22, and 18, my 2 oldest ones cook for themselves. They're on their own. They can buy whatever. They eat whole foods. They cook.
Also,
they cook at home.
Yeah, it did pay off.
Right, but I'm saying, but even if they got made fun of and it wasn't easy, we worked through it to the point where they understood the role of nutrition, and here we are.
Right.
Purpose.
Yeah.